for real at all. I know that Austin's going to be monitoring. There's Woody. There he is.
How do I monitor the chat? Do I log into YouTube?
Yes. Yeah. I will. Let's see. If you all are on our YouTube channel, there is the live that is happening right now. I am about ready to start this producing of this live right now.
How do I?
I'm sending it to you. I'm putting it in the chat right now. Austin, hold on one second.
Perfect.
There you go. All right, so everyone is here. Stephen as our main host. We actually have viewers that are now watching us live on YouTube. Hopefully you all can see us live on YouTube. Austin, who is on YouTube, who is one of the producers, is going to be monitoring the chat. So if you have comments on YouTube, you are welcome to make them in the comments, and we will put them on the podcast as we are going live. I'm the producer. We are getting ready to record our episode. So Stephen, I think we're good. The first segment will be everything up through Daniel. So everyone say hi, Daniel. He's going to do his 32 count life story. Oh, we lost Woody already.
Take Alicia off of this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Where is she? Oh, on the, no.
On the thing.
Oh, there's Woody. Where is she? Take her out.
How do I monitor that?
So Daniel will do the 32 count life story. Matt, we're going to bring you in and still have you be like, hey, Matt, you've been here before. You get out of the 32 count life story, but tell us where you were this winter, like a quickie. And then once I have Stephen, Woody I'm going to cancel him from rehearsal. When Woody, when we go to commercial for the first segment, Stephen, you all on the recording will not hear the commercial break. Mm-hmm. The live people will hear the commercial break because it will go to commercial break for the live people. So everybody else on the recording, you guys won't hear the commercial. So that'll be fine.
Will our microphones be live during the commercial?
No. Yeah. No. Yeah. All of that will suddenly change. So that's all good. You'll see how this all works out. Everybody watching again on YouTube, I'm over here on this camera watching on YouTube. If you guys want to comment, Austin is watching the chat. You can chat. Woody is having internet issues. He's frozen somewhere over there.
He's trying to wave his hand right now.
Yes, Woody, you have a question?
Is my microphone working? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Woody. Gotcha. There he is.
We got Woody. Hopefully everybody at home can hear everything as well. Stephen, are you good?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay. Everyone ready? Yes, Woody, we can hear you. Can you hear us? I don't know that Woody can hear us. That's maybe
testing.
Yeah, we hear you, Woody. Can you hear us?
Matt's got fireworks. Yes, come on.
I just gave the thumbs up and it gave me the fireworks.
Yeah, come on, Matt, with the fireworks. Come on.
Oh, there he goes. Hi, Woody.
Oh, Woody.
Oh, Woody.
Oh, Woody.
Hello. Oh, Woody. It is Percussion and Wins week. Yay.
Yay. We saw a lot of Woody on the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Or on the Instagram, I should say.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Woody on the Instagram. That's why
Woody was getting active.
He was running. I was right behind him the entire time. I had to chase him down.
That's you chasing Woody is a funny vision that I want to wholehearted see. I want to see Austin chasing.
Just come to Percussion next year. That's all you got to do.
I'm coming. I'm gonna start. I think we'll be all right.
I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine.
All right. I got hold on. Let me make sure. I got intro. I got applause. We got 32 count life story. We're good. Everybody live, ready to go. Everybody watching us live is ready to go. Here we go. We're gonna start the recording. If you are so, just one more thing, Daniel, Matt, everybody, I'm gonna mute all of you. If you can see on your thing, you can unmute yourself on the browser, but I want to have Stephen a clean entry into what we're doing. So we'll get started. All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm. Hey everyone, and welcome back to On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk about everything you and your friends are talking about at rehearsal on a water break. In this week's episode, we are live and prepping for WGI championships. Just kidding. WGI championships already happened, so we're recapping finals this last weekend and all the cool things we saw. We're going to find out what made Matt say and why Joey said. All this and more on this week's episode of On a Water Break.
8 off the mat and go.
Welcome to On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk everything marching arts.
Everyone, bring it. It's time for a water break.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We got a great episode this week, and we are live on YouTube, which is so exciting. So if you're listening to this after the live call, you missed out. You should be here while it's live. Come subscribe on YouTube, and then you'll be able to catch the live streams as they happen. If you got any questions, if you're listening out there on YouTube now, put them in the comments. One of our producers, Austin's on the call, and he's in the comments too. So if you've got something for us, we'll talk about it. But yeah, the color guard people went live last week. Now it's our turn. Before we get into the action here, let's see who's on the sidelines this week. Go and subscribe on your favorite listening app. Please write us a review, share it with a friend. If you've got a question or a good topic to talk about, you could email us at onawaterbreakpodcast@gmail.com or find us on social media and DM us if you want to be on the show. We've got a form that you could fill out now if you want to be a guest. Check it out at the link in our bio. So on the sidelines this week, we've got Matt Walters is back again on the call. Matt, how are you doing, man?
Doing good. Just getting home, getting back to work, trying to get back into what am I going to do on Saturday from now on. Yeah, all good.
I bet. I know exactly what I'm about to be doing on Saturday because on the East Coast, weekend band is already getting going again. I'm practically diving right back into it. But for our listeners, Matt, just in case they didn't catch any of the episodes when you've been on in the past, could you bring them up to speed real quick on, I guess, where you taught this winter and some of your background?
Yeah, Matt Walters. I'm from Southern California. Did RCC and Blue Devils, 08, 9, 10, and also RCC 11. And then been teaching in the area ever since. Taught RCC for a little bit, taught Pulse for a little bit, and now I am at Broken City this year and last year.
Yeah. So Matt gets around a lot. One of the most accomplished bass techs in the activity. Super awesome to have you on the call, and super awesome just to know you, man. You do a lot of cool stuff. But
yeah, excited to be here.
Awesome. And Austin, we got Austin Hall on the show tonight as well. 2 weeks in Dayton. Austin, you must be tired. How was it?
I am still recovering, and boy, I am tired.
Yeah, I could imagine, man, because one of our other panelists tonight, Woody, had you running around all across the lot.
He
Woody.
did. I had a great time chasing Woody. I'm sure that was a sight to see.
Yeah.
I was chasing him all across the lot for pretty much the better half of 3 days. It was a good time though. We had fun. We got a lot of interviews done. Woody still somehow knows everybody, and I can't figure out how that happened. You know,
It's like the East Coast Godfather.
He really is.
Yeah, we've got Woody on the sideline as well. Woody, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. It's good to see you guys. Austin,
Good
I
to
feel
see you.
I miss you, man. I miss you.
Yeah, you guys probably got pretty close there for a couple days.
No, it was cool to actually
Partners in
meet
crime.
you in person. Very cool. You know, we do this thing all across the country, and you just know him by nanoseconds. I got to actually touch his skin. It was incredible.
Yeah. No, that is awesome. It's cool to see everyone in Dayton. Felt the same way seeing Matt in Dayton, actually, because we had met and done a lot of stuff online this year. But wait, what just happened?
Crap. Did Jeremy just end it and then gonna restart?
This is what happens with live production. See, this is what happens. Everybody
I hope
live at home. This is what happens.
I hope that wasn't me. My stuff uploaded right away.
No, it's Joey's issue this time with Joey's microphone. That's what keeps happening.
Dang. Okay. As long as I'm off the hook. It's really been getting me the last couple weeks. It's been, been becoming the bane of my existence.
It is messing with Steven like nobody's business. We're hopefully, Joey, what's going on with your microphone, darling? Have you tested? Are you alive? Are you here with us? Oh no, I can't hear you. That's probably the issue right now. It was not happy that it was not recording your audio. Zencaster will stop somebody. Awesome 22 says, "Let's go, Daniel." By the way, I don't know who Awesome 22 is.
Not sure who that is, but
Yeah.
that's who you are.
Yes. Where are you? Okay, we're all good. We're just gonna, Steven, you're gonna jump right in a second. We're gonna start a recording. Hold on. All right.
Is it better or worse?
That's good. You're fine. I can hear you now.
You're in.
All right. Not bad.
Yeah, you're good. I think, Steven, you're just probably just jump in recording with like, oh, hey, Joey. You know what I mean? Like,
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, like, Joey, your mic messed us all up. So, like, yeah. We're live. Those people, again. Oh, see, Awesome 22 is a member of North Star. Member at North
Shout
Star.
out North Star.
Marimba player.
We'll get more to that in a little bit.
We'll get that in a little bit. Though Austin's like in the Austin,
dark.
watch your stuff. All right, so
no.
We're good.
What do you mean I'm in the dark? Am I less dark?
You're good. You're good now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good. All right, so Austin, all right, everybody else at home, here we go. We're going back to recording, and Steven will be starting.
And Joey, you were out there doing all types of stuff this week over in Dayton with the Winds ensembles. What was that like this week?
It was incredible. I mean, I think the proposal that we passed this past summer about everybody getting 2 runs, I think everybody felt better about their weekend, and I'm hoping that means that next year we have another wait list for who's going to come to finals. First time that's ever happened. So yeah, it was great watching all the groups, and all my content for the week for On a Water Break was walking on with as many people as I could and being as supportive as I was, and it was amazing. Again, the camaraderie around the Winds activity and the idiom is so cool. That just loving life.
Yeah, that's awesome. I always love hearing about what's going on in WGI Winds, especially because the rules and how it's like coming together. It's a new idiom, and it really grows so much every year. Definitely want to hear more about that a little bit later on, but we've got one more important guest on the sideline, a new guest that we haven't spoken with before. His name is Daniel Balls. Daniel, thank you for hopping on the show tonight.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. Excited.
We are going to get into your 32 count life story in just a sec, but before we do, I want to preview some amazing episodes and bonus content that we have going on with On a Water Break. We've got an episode on a water break with Brandy Keaton, one of the directors for the University of Alabama Color Guard, and world-class Alta Maria. Great Color Guard episode there that you should check out. We're also starting a new bonus episode called Quick Sips. Just put one out about the couple that got engaged on the WGI floor. So you should look for more of these coming out soon for Percussion Week and more. And then just before Percussion Week, I got to sit down. Me and my old bass one from Crown in 19 did an episode with Julie Davila, where she talks about everything she's been through, a ton in her judging philosophies. And she's just a really accomplished percussionist and judge in general. So definitely check those episodes out. They're really cool. But back to the episode we're doing here right now. Daniel, I'm really excited. Do you know how the 32 count life story works?
We're going to find out. How about that?
You'll get 8 and in from the Met, and then you just get 8 bars, 32 counts to catch us all up to speed on your background and what brings you here today. So, 8 and in from the Met, and then you go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Daniel Balls. I started my marching career in Utah with the Skyview High School Marching Band, and then my senior year at the Idaho Falls High School Marching Band in Idaho Falls. I started my percussion my senior year at True Percussion Indoor, where I did 2 years on tenors, and transitioned into North Star Independent, where I marched 5 additional years, and that's now where I teach as the battery caption head.
Nice. Yeah, I think you got one last bar here, but it's
Oh,
wrapping
I teach
up.
at Troopers Legacy Corps as well,
Oh,
and
okay.
Iowa High School again.
Nice. That was that last bar.
Perfect.
The last bar was hanging out there. But yeah, that's cool, man. North Star. Where is North Star again? Can you remind me in the audience?
Idaho Falls, Idaho. So
In Idaho. Okay.
north of Utah, right?
Yeah.
Right up on I-15.
Awesome. And so North Star, what part of WGI do they compete in?
We compete in Percussion Independent A.
In PIA.
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, before we dive into our favorite performances tonight, I want to talk about everyone's experiences this year at WGI. And if you're watching live right now, you could comment, tell us what you thought, or ask any questions that you might want to answer. I guess to kick it off with my experience this winter, it was actually kind of a crazy one. My carpool going out, we got into a car crash, which was very sad. That was a crazy way to kick off the week. But then I had probably like the most touching moment with my students that I've had yet as a teacher. I was driving a Mustang, and on their Walmart break, they got me a Mustang, which it actually like really was very touching. It's funny, but it meant a lot to me. And then the week went really well. I felt like my bass drums played great. Was super happy with them, and we wrapped up with a pretty good score. So, but we can go around the horn here. I want to hear about everyone's week and what you guys got up to. Do we got any volunteers? Anyone want to kick it off?
You
I
know
want
what,
to hear.
I'll
Yeah,
jump
let's
in.
see what you
I'll
got,
jump
Austin.
in. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I mean, just the sheer level of exhaustion started to take over at the very end of it. Considering I did have 2 weeks, but I was very happy to go. I learned a lot just about just visual design and all over the place, and just how each side of the activity pushes each other, and how Bands of America and Drum Corps push the indoor activity and vice versa. Like, you kind of see it all happening. But
Mm.
just the experience as a whole, being able to watch, being able to meet people, being able to talk to people, and just enjoy the marching arts as a whole was just super, super fun and eye opening. And it was just fun. I mean, you can't forget about winning a lot. You really can't. That was Woody was the main guy who was like, meet this guy, meet her, meet him. I'm like, all right, cool. Had a ton of
Well,
people.
Austin told me to shut up. I'm the producer, and you be the host. So
I was like, Woody, yeah.
yeah,
I was like, Woody, just be the personality. That's all you gotta be. Just be the personality. I'm like, I'll follow you. I'll take care of the logistics behind it. Just go talk to people. That's all I need you to do. That's pretty much what it was, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. Just being able to meet a bunch of people, and then obviously being able to meet you, Steven, in person for the first time after knowing you for, I guess, over a year now.
Yeah,
And then
right.
hanging out with Joey and hanging out with Daniel and seeing his group and all that good stuff. And it was just fun to really, really experience it and dive into what it was. Because my WGI experiences have all been just wins.
Okay.
Just Horizon wins. And
Yeah, percussion is an
it was a
experience.
different animal. It was fun.
Mhm.
I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's dope. I've been there. This was now haven't missed it once since 2013, and I don't intend to. I'm just gonna keep on at it. This is like my Christmas week. But Woody, what was your Dayton lot experience like? You were getting active out there, man.
First off, I had to tell you, if you do the lot thing like I did, you have to have a producer. It made it so much easier to have Austin just do the work and I just talk, and I loved it because when he sent me out on my own, things slowed down immensely. I got like yeah, give me the bad sound. So if you get a chance to do it again, take a producer. It was good to be back. I've been out for a couple years because of my health and stuff. Don't feel sorry for me, but it was really good to be back, and the love from the activity. It's almost like no one even realized I left. They were like, "Hey, Woody, there goes Woody." So that was pretty exciting. Almost like every 50 feet, Woody, Woody, Woody.
Yeah.
I for myself, it's flattering because I actually try to keep a low profile, but obviously I'm not doing a good job at it.
Yeah,
Just
now
would.
people
It's
know you.
impossible.
It's like a reunion out there. I do love it for the same reason, but I feel pulled between too many groups at this point. It's like I got too many different friend groups and I want to see them all, but you can't see them all at the same time. And meanwhile, I'm also just teaching my ensemble and I should just be present with my own ensemble. It's a very tough week. Not enough time. But Daniel, why don't you tell us a little bit about your week with North Star?
Yeah, we had a great week. Had a great prelims run. Honestly, it was probably the best run we had all year, excluding finals, obviously. Very proud of the members. They really pulled through. They really gave it all they could, and that's all I could ask for. So they had a great 2 runs in Dayton. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun seeing Austin, hanging out with Austin, seeing all the friends that I have in the booth and inside the merch tent, and all sort of stuff like that. But no, it was great. It was a great week. Good to be home
merch
now.
tent is out of control, right? That merch tent is out of control.
It is.
It's crazy.
It gets busier every year, doesn't it?
Yeah, and they're so like well produced now. Like when I first showed up in 2013, it would be like some dude selling t-shirts out of like a box under a table. He's got like a whiteboard and some dry erase markers that he wrote his brand on.
Sold out. Yeah. And then now, like, you see C-Vine, you see Lot Riot, you see, I mean, Synced Ups. Like, it felt like it was a Midwest booth with how much stuff they had. They had both sides. It's gotten crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like a little mini PASIC.
I talked to a cat last night. He had his Lot Riot shirt on. He said he dropped $350 at the Lot Riot. I'm like, I know.
Man.
I'm like, well, the gear is nice, but I don't know about that.
No, that's cool. Maybe I need to make a little designer business. Start selling.
I'm telling you, man.
No back
that
to school
week
shopping for you.
Yeah, no kidding. That week to week, I will say, like, kind of doing the week to week comparison, the percussion tent, way crazier than Color Guard. It's not close.
Louder.
It's definitely louder. It's not close. There's a ton more people in there too. Consistently a ton of people in that percussion booth, and it's loud.
Just to play on a pad that you have at home.
That's what I'm saying.
It's different in a tent for some reason.
That's funny. But Joey, tell me a little bit about your week with Winds and the different ensembles you help out with.
So this is the first time I've gotten to go out with a couple of my percussion groups. 2 first timers I had, or I guess 3 first timers technically. I had Lotus Indoor Percussion, who I do like video consults with and talk with the director. That's their first time coming out of Arkansas. Crazy cool show. It was a Frank Ocean Orange album kind of tribute, which was dope. Really cool Moon River ballad. Yeah. It was really cool. If you get a chance to catch it on YouTube, go find that. It's pretty awesome. Their first time out, they had great runs. It was like 2 out of semis. They were in PIO, and then I had 2 PSA groups. It's their first time coming out to Dayton. Both groups have existed for maybe 3 or 4 years at the max. This is their first time coming to Dayton. Enlo made it into semifinals, which was fantastic. It's the first time we've had a group make semifinals in PSA in North Carolina in over 10 years. So really glad to be around that kind of history and that kind of legacy. And then Green Level, it's the first time as well. Didn't make semis, but had a pretty cool run as well. And then my wins groups, I had Corinth Holders out there. It's the first time being back in a finals performance since they won WSA in 2022. So that was great to see, and just kind of where we're at in the growth of that ensemble. It was just cool to see them in finals again. Had ICT out of Wichita, Kansas. ICT wins their first year out. It's my brother's group. He started a group.
Oh, that's really cool.
Oh my gosh, that's probably
the family business.
That's probably my favorite picture from the entire week. They surprised me. My mom showed up, and it's the first time I've seen my mom in a while, and it's the first time she's gotten to see a group of mine live in 3 years, maybe. And I'm about to shed tears about just thinking about it. It was so cool. She just showed up in the lot, and I was like, "Mom, what are you doing here?" And then that was so great. And then just trying Just trying to think if I missed anybody that I was out there with. No, I mean, like all the groups I took out, they all had great runs, and a lot of first time history made this year with the marching by Montes clients. So just truly blessed to have been around it. And if you can now check it out on Marching Vlogs, they just posted it today. We have a killer tabla player at Enlow. Go check him out. It is
Ooh.
probably the coolest thing you'll see. His hands are pretty insane for, I mean for a high schooler, but just a tabla expert in general. He's got cool hands. Go check him out.
Yeah, no, that's actually a cool idea. I've thought about like what if someone did tabla really well in indoor, but the problem I always thought would be like, how do you find a talented tabla player that's not aged out that actually wants to do indoor percussion?
Yeah.
But you did it. You cracked the code.
We
You
found
that guy.
it. Yeah, it's a magnet school, magnet art school. So
Nice.
have tons of Asian influence in the group, and so it made a lot of sense to bring a lot of their culture to this show. Is about a lotus flower and like the
Nice.
culture significance to them. And we were like, hey, do you want to play tabla? And they were like, yeah, but this guy also does folkloric dance if you want to put him in that. And I was like, sold. And so I mean, it was just so like I was so scared the entire time. I was like, okay, I'm trying to be culturally, sensitive here, but I want like jazz hands here. I want these hands to go up, and then we do that, and they're like, oh yeah, that's fine. Oh yeah, put that in. Oh yeah, let's highlight the tabla player for 2.5 minutes.
Nice.
It's a pretty cool show. It was we definitely cracked the code on that one, and we're gonna have to find a way to top it.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna have to check that out after our call because that does sound really cool. But before I get into that, I want to hear about Matt's week. First off, Matt, congratulations. I saw your post. I don't know of anyone else that has taught 3 different PIW medaling ensembles, certainly at least as a bass tech. So very, very accomplished instructor, Matt. But
Yeah,
tell us about your week with Broken City.
it was awesome. The members just worked super hard from like the first day we showed up. Obviously, we're from Southern California. It's nice all the time. And that first Tuesday morning rehearsal was like 14 degrees out in the cold. And it was like 2 blocks outside. And they just fought through it, and they were awesome. So nothing but love for those members and the work they put in. But I love coming. Like you said, it's Christmas week. And just getting to see all the friends and, marched with them, family, was really awesome. And then getting to see all the cool bass lines, got to see United, got to see like Monarch and George Mason. Like those are just like a couple that come to mind. But just a lot of really good drumming, a lot of really good friends, a lot of catching up and all that stuff. So really, really great week.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. And I actually am curious because on the East Coast, we always we almost mythologize like the cold Dayton, where we're like, oh, boys, it's time for us to rise up. We're born in the cold. These California kids don't know how to drum in this. What's it actually like when people from California show up and have to do cold Dayton?
Absolutely miserable. It was terrible. You see Broken City on finals night. If you would have seen them on Tuesday, you would have laughed at them probably. It's rough, and just like getting acclimated to that, and then just kind of learn from it. You start with like the worst imaginable rehearsal, weather.
Yeah.
And then it's all better from there. Then you get to like semis, like, oh, it's nice out here. We could do it.
Yes, we actually definitely got lucky there a little bit this week too. I feel like it was really cold when we showed up, and then it got a little bit better. I wouldn't ever say it got like nice, spare for like a brief pocket of sun at like 2:30 p.m. each afternoon. But
Yeah,
all right.
I bet like that 35, 40 degree thing that we can live through, it must be like 10 degrees to you, man. It must be really bad. Can we play with our gloves on? No.
The age-old East Coast question that Matt's never even had to consider. Can I play with the gloves on?
I've never even thought about it.
All right. Well, we have a couple questions here and thoughts from the audience. one thing that we saw, one of our listeners, Rachel on YouTube, dropped $700 on the Lot Riot tent,
I saw that.
which is impressive. I would have liked to have. I didn't drop 700, but I can't say I don't empathize with it.
Imagine dropping almost a full
She
rent
dropped the car
payment on
payment.
that.
She dropped the car payment. A nice car.
Yeah, it's almost all rent.
I'm gonna spend a whole rack at the Lot Riot booth.
Hey man, more power to you. They got some good merch. I can't lie. They got some good stuff going on.
They do got good stuff. And then Awesome22 asks, when do PIW groups head to Dayton to have time to practice? Matt, what was Broken City's schedule like? And then I'll say what the East Coast schedule is like.
We fly out, or the members fly out like Monday morning. They got there, I think, around 8 p.m. local time on Monday. So they have a full rehearsal day Tuesday and Wednesday, and then just like whatever rehearsal we can fit in around prelim, semis, and finals.
Yeah, and then it's pretty similar for a group like United. We rehearsed the weekend before and then actually rehearsed on Monday as well. Tuesday, we get on a bus early in the morning, drive out to Dayton, probably have a block Tuesday night, and then Wednesday's series rehearsal. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you get what makes sense. All right, cool. Well, we are going to toss to a quick commercial, and we will be back with some of the biggest news of Dayton and our favorite groups.
Celebrating its 25th anniversary, Guard Closet was founded as a consignment shop in 2000. Since then, it has grown to become your one-stop shop for the marching arts.
Do you need consignment uniforms and flags for your color guard, marching band, or drumline? We have thousands of sets of consignments in stock and ready to ship.
Do you need show design and custom choreography? Our designers have years of experience in the marching arts.
Do you need to sell your items and clear out your storage areas? We take in more than 600 sets of consignments each year and return hundreds of thousands of dollars to our consigners for their sales.
Do you need to have your students order shoes, gloves, and other equipment? We can set up a microsite for easy student ordering of a wide variety of items.
Do you need custom costumes or flags? We can help get you great designs from our team through top vendors like Show Day Designs.
Have you listened to our podcast On a Water Break? Weekly episodes and bonus content keep you entertained and informed with what's going on in the marching arts.
For over 25 years, Guard Closet has been here to help. Check us out at guardcloset.com or follow us on social media.
I got a couple more listener questions coming in.
See, here we are, everyone. Everyone here in the stage is getting ready to record. We're live still on YouTube. Everybody's watching us. Everybody here, we are not recording yet. But we are, Joey is eating something to make sure that no one sees. Everyone's finishing their last water break.
Are we visible right now?
Before we enter into our next recording session. So everybody at home, if you're watching us, we have lots of comments coming in on the YouTube. Wow, like Rachel,
the YouTube is
how to
hilarious.
accelerate your learning and get better when you just started learning last year. We've got lots of questions coming in, but we're going to enter into like a discussion about the results and the shows and everything that happened at WGI with Percussion and Winds in general. So I'm going to play the commercial intro, Stephen, when we come back, and then you can jump right in with however you want to start with, Now we're going to the results, like folks, like now it's ESPN time, right? Okay. We good? Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody good at home? Okay. Joey might be choking on a carrot. We're not sure. Okay, here we go. It's also weird to know what button I should click because there are multiple things happening. Right here. Mute yourself if you can.
All right, and we are back. We're alive as well. All right, we are back, and we are going to start off with what everybody is all excited about, the scores, the results from Dayton Week, our favorite shows, and all the cool stuff that we saw. And some crazy stuff happened. We actually set 3 world records in world class this year, but we will get to that in a couple minutes. I want to start off actually in independent marching A, and Daniel, if you want to tell us about what happened in an independent marching A over here, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, M3 is a powerhouse, right? They're very good, and they are very clean, and they're consistent year to year. So they won. M3 took first. They have Nomad Percussion in second with a 92.65, still very nice. Third place did not break 90, but Lake Effect Percussion, previously in prelims, they were 4th place, were able to jump into third and medal. Congratulations to them. I'm glad they had a very good run. North Star Independent took 4th with an 88.875. Looking forward to seeing what they're doing in the future. And Kannapolis with 5th place. So very exciting, very, very competitive in the top of A class. Very excited to see where this division starts pushing forward. And I know we'll talk a little bit more about my thoughts on this when we have the What Are We Doing segment. But very exciting stuff happening.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely am excited to hear that. What are we doing? And I'll run us down through Scholastic Marching A now, which is also a notorious dogfight. Scholastic Marching A, there are so many ensembles, so it really becomes like a real battle for cleanliness. The groups at the top are really clean. So Clinton High School won with a 97.038. I definitely recognize that name. They've been a long time perennial WGI school. Choctawhatchee High School came in 2nd place with a 95.975. ED White Catholic High School came in 3rd place with a 94.275. But from that point on down, there are still a lot of different groups that broke 90. Unionville High School had a pretty big gap before at 4 with 93.625. And then at 5th, it's Dakota Combined Schools with a 91.938. But really great scores and performances from all the ensembles that competed in A class here. As stated before, they work really hard and get really clean. It's all about fundamentals in that class and in open. So
Before we move on from A class, are we going to talk about the horses?
You tell me about the horses.
Do you not know about the horses?
No.
Yeah, just Google WGI percussion horses, and
That's all you got to do. It very, very much went viral. I was sitting in the box when that group came on. I looked down, I saw those horses, and I go, "What the heck is about to happen here?"
As a matter of fact,
I'm watching it now.
For that one, didn't we?
We may have, but that was quite the experience. I enjoyed it.
Woody, did you just say you guys interviewed a horse?
No, we get a What Are We Doing? Sitting together, look at it like, what are we doing? It was very shocking.
Yeah,
this is great.
It worked.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Getting to see Steven's face watching this is pretty great.
The best part about those horses was the fact that the back legs were mechanical and they worked as long as the front legs moved. The front legs were students that were on the floor inside of the horse.
Running around, performing.
Were actually on wheels in order for it to move like solidly. It worked so well. They generally affected me. I will say that much.
I watched the video and they were doing drill with the horses.
They were doing drill and it was effective.
They have a whole company front with horses.
It was incredible. Who
That's
was
crazy.
it? Was it Edie White?
Yeah, they came in 3rd. Yeah, the horse show.
Edie White. Yeah, I remember they got a medal. I just remember who it was.
That's awesome. Did they wait?
Oh my
I
God,
wonder
did
if
they
they wore the horses at retreat.
I was about to say, did they put a medal on a horse? Because that's a missed opportunity.
I don't know. I really don't know if they did. I left because I needed to go get sleep.
Man.
But
Yeah, you
Daniel, you were there.
I was
for it.
there. I don't remember seeing horses on the retreat floor, so I
Oh,
can't
that's
speak
so
to
sad.
it. But it
That
would have
is
been a
so
great
sad.
opportunity. It's a great opportunity.
You know, it's funny, Steve, that before they came on, there was like two other cowboy shows, and it's like, wow, there's a lot of cowboy shows. And then this one with the horses just dwarfed everything.
Yeah, imagine doing a cowboy show, going to Dayton, and then finding out that someone has horses. You'd be like,
There was
"Oh
a
God,
reason they got
oh,
third
we're cooked."
at specific cowboy show.
There's
Oh,
some
man.
super dad out there that we all need to meet, right?
Yeah, shout out to those band dads for real who engineered those horses specifically.
Well, we shouldn't just assume it was a dad. It could be a mom.
True.
It could be, but most
These
likely.
band parents put in the work.
Facts.
All right, let's
Horsepower.
jump up into the indeed. Let's jump into the open class scores. So for independent marching open finals, we've got Veritas with a 97.85 winning, then Civitas Independent with a 96.775, UTSA with a 95.188, Freedom Percussion with a 95.05, and then Spectre Percussion with a 94.925. I'm pretty sure my buddy is the bass tech at Spectre. Good for them. But yeah, independent marching open got a lot of different groups in there. Some of them are feeders for world class groups. Others are standalone groups. And yeah, it's a lot like A class. Lots of fighting to be the cleanest, and just showing that you're good at the skills. But a lot of the shows are bangers too. I wish I got more time throughout the week to see it. But did anyone around in the call get to check out any of these ensembles?
You know, Steve, being all those years being involved with the United program, I've never got a chance to watch those other groups. And I kept saying to Austin, "This is awesome. I watched A and Open for the first time ever being WGI, and it was really cool." So we got a chance to watch both classes. It was definitely
Nice.
different.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I can at least speak for UP too. Definitely get a couple opportunities to see them throughout finals week. And I was really impressed, man. Like they played clean. Like we put a lot of thought into the world class show, and I know that that's like something that we're figuring out how to get as much like detail into the open class show that we do at the world level. But in terms of just how the members played it, like they really executed what they had in front of them. So that was shout out UP too. They did a lot of good work. But Scolat, go ahead.
I was just going to say my significant other, she's a guard person, but she volunteered for Percussion Week. She's been doing that annually now. And she said that Veritas is something just absolutely worth watching in terms of like full production and how the planned moment goes into the next moment, how there's an in and an out. And I mean, just seeing the scores now, I didn't really get to follow much of open once the win stuff started taking play and I had to be at rehearsal. But I mean, there's a reason they got a 97.8 above everybody else. I mean, I know one pointing the next person is because of how well produced it was. I haven't got a chance to watch it, but that was the one she kept talking about. It was like, you have to watch Veritas. You have to watch Veritas. So well done.
No,
It's a great message. It's a great message as well.
Incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
And then just another big shout out, I guess, we haven't done Scholastic Open yet, but
We're about it if you want to.
I just want to say like big shout out to Kamiak coming all the way from the Pacific Northwest and absolutely killing. I've got some older friends back out that way from my trooper days, and it's just really cool to see teammates win like that. So
nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's run through those Scholastic Marching Open scores now. Another long-time competitor here won. Remember this because I remember competing with Victor J. Andrew High School in open class, but they win this year with a 96.763. Fishers High School comes in second place with a 96.75. Rancho Cucamonga High School with a 96.075 takes third place. Then there was a tie for 4th and 5th between Greenfield Central High School and Zionsville Community High School. But yeah, lots of great stuff coming out of open class, much like what we were all describing. And now we can talk about these world-class groups where there was really some crazy happenings going on this year on both sides of the aisle, Scholastic and in the independent side. There's some real crazy stuff. In independent world, Meraki Percussion made finals for, I think, the first time. Is that a California group, Matt?
Shout out to Meraki. Honestly, they're San Bernardino.
Yeah, San Bernardino. So a new finalist. That's crazy. Makes me wonder which group didn't make it. I wasn't thinking about that.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was like their 3rd or 4th year out total.
And I think it's their first year in world. They were an open class group last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was, their 3rd or 4th year out total. First year in world, they made finals.
Yeah, incredible.
They're
Dark Sky was the 16th.
Dark Sky. Oh,
Dark
man.
Sky.
Okay.
Connexus missed as well.
All right. Rhythmic Force also is a kind of new. I don't know if this is their first year, but Rhythmic Force is not a old ensemble, at least for world-class finalists. But yeah, getting up towards the top end of the activity here, I want to talk about these world records that happened, because it happened in like a 3-minute stretch, and it actually was pretty crazy inside the arena. Like people were audibly gasping. People audibly gasped first when George Mason beat Music City Mystique, which was a crazy moment. It means a lot for the East Coast, really, especially if that could be replicable.
What a fun show that was. Did you guys get to watch it?
Oh my God, it was so fun. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Even before we break into that, I have to tell you, Steve, this is the strongest East Coast representation I've seen in quite some time.
No, I think you're totally right. 6th place, 8th place. I don't think it's ever been that high between both ensembles. And dude, like if Mason had an awesome year, like as a United guy, you wish that you beat him, but you know, they win this year. They got it. And if their show is so fun, if it gets people moving, like that's just more help for the East Coast. It's more people drumming out here. It would mean more people for United too. So I think our success lifts up the East Coast ensembles together, no matter what way you shake it. So I'm real happy for them.
We're coming, Matt.
We're coming back. We're gonna get them in round 2. They got us in round 1.
Something that was awesome with the George Mason thing. We wanted to do an interview with George Mason, and Austin and I had to stand in line and wait to talk.
Yeah.
We got that interview though. We did get that interview. It is on the Instagram page. Go watch it. It was fun.
Was it like a deli counter? Like you had to take your number and wait? Like, okay.
But he should have.
I don't know what it felt like, honestly. There was just
he should have had a deli
pictures.
Pay money.
It was picture after picture after picture, and we're like, all right, come on, dude. And we just pretty much just grabbed him, took him right into the tent. Like, do this interview right here, right now. That's what we're doing. It's happening.
But it's so interesting. Like Mason did actually narrow in on an effective idea that no one's really done, which is like through and through having a character in Dayton who's in character the whole time that like gets all the people engaged. And then sure enough, like
he was committed to it 100%.
I will say he was that show was the loudest applause of the night. And I don't think it was close.
By far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they figured something out. You can't knock it. They figured something out. But
well, you know what? We're drum corps people. We find some way to knock something. That's what we do. You go to the orchestra and you're like, well, the symphony wasn't clean. It wasn't clean the way I like it. We're negative that way.
It's not that segment of the show yet, Woody. We didn't get to the What Are We Doings yet.
We'll get critical later, okay?
But yeah, I wanna jump ahead up to the top to what happened in those last couple minutes there. So first off, they go through the Scholastic scores first. It's awesome to see a school from Texas get up there because it's mostly been Chino Hills or Ayala in 1 and 2 for a while. So Bridgeland, honestly, from my perspective, like kind of came out of nowhere. I just wasn't that familiar with the program, and it's super dope to see another school actually compete at that level. But then Ayala just busted down all the records for the class for the entirety of WGI percussion. 99.5 from Ayala with their show. I think the Holder of the Eyes, or I'm close there. It might be the Holder, but
it was gorgeous.
Yeah, really just incredible show. There's a lot of groups like playing to different sides of the arena this year, which I actually thought was pretty interesting. And like Ayala used it a lot to affect what their actual sound was and how loud the dynamics worked. And they just really nailed everything. It was so good. Did you guys get to see that show?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Truly
Yeah, if you're
is.
listening to this and you haven't somehow, I don't really know how you're that hula hoop like subsection. That Venn diagram slip of someone that's listening to this but didn't catch the show. You gotta go check it because it's really good. But then here's where things got spicy. First off, Matt gets a bronze medal. Shout out to Matt. And then Rhythm X sets the new world record for PIW right after that, but from second place. And RCC sets the new world record right after that, like about 2 or 3 minutes later at a 99.163, which having seen all the top 3 shows is like, it was just a incredibly successful year for the top end of the activity. I, as a Rhythm X alum, will stand on it that I liked Rhythm X's show, but both of them were so outstandingly excellent. It was like, sucks that only one of these shows can win this year. But wow, what a real like leap forward. I felt like RCC was really creative with like the pre-show stuff. They did a lot of things that just are unconventional that you don't think of. And then Rhythm X just really was such a seamless production and was really just very good.
Yeah, I guess
Broken City was too. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm like knocking it, Matt, by talking up the other 2 groups so much, but this really was a crazy year at the top end. What do you guys think?
Well, first off, when you get to this 90, 98, 99 range, it is definitely, from a judging standpoint, more of a bias than it is anything else. This is what I like, because
it is.
Everything else is even. It's, like the thing says, between 1 and 3/10, it's anybody's call any day who has the best thing. And I always preach to kids or students that the judge was once you, and if you touch them in that way, that's the call.
Yeah, it is. That's always what I think, that like when the tapes are going really well at that end of the activity, the judge isn't even really like judging. He's just kind of taken out of the moment, just sitting there, just like enjoying the program, just the same way that like anyone else in the audience is. It's just when there's like a little sliver of dirt where they get drawn back into being a judge where you start to lose tenths. But yeah, it was crazy. I totally do agree as well, Woody, that like, when you get up to that end, like what's the difference between a 100-100 and a 99-100? It's that the judge just prefers the group that he gave a 100-100 to. It's not that much deeper than that. They're both excellent.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of the hundreds, I think going back to Scholastic, Ayala got 11 100s across the board.
Yeah.
Like in total caption, like in content achievement total, I think the total was 11.
That's
which
crazy.
Is just, I think they had a perfect effect score too, which is totally, that doesn't happen very often.
But when you look at that, if you stop and analyze it, if they got 100s, that says a lot about the 2 groups before them, because you've pushed the judge to the wall. I have no place else to go. That says a lot about the matter of fact, the top 5, because that 5th place group has already pushed so far into box 5. I got no place to go. I had to give it up.
It's like inflation gets us all.
Oh, I don't think we talk about that kind of stuff.
All right, well, let's get into these win scores. Joey, I feel like it would be great for you to walk us through some of the win scores because you and Austin are both really locked in with what's going on over there. Could you walk us through a bit of what happened?
Sure. I'm really bad at reading and numbers, so if I mess this up, everybody just fire me. It's going to be okay. Let's start with Scholastic A wins. Edinburgh High School got a 94.618. That's good enough for first place. Damien High School out of California, it's their first year out. I got to actually walk on the floor with them on a water break. Really, really cool. It's a like a music conservatory high school, like magnet arts school there in California, and they came out independent and Scholastic A, sorry, for their first year, and they came out with the silver medal, which was pretty cool, 91.919. And then Mount Juliet, who's been a pretty consistent finalist in the win space, third place with a 90.865. Noonan gets in with an 89.283. That's good enough for fourth. And then Warren Central High School out of Indiana gets a 88.663. And that's your top 5 Scholastic A wins finalists. And just like something personal for me is my brother came out. We'll talk about that here in a second. Scholastic A, really, really cool to see the growth in this space. And WGI did something really cool this year. They listened to the advisory board and the steering committee, and that we really felt like people come out, they spend all this money to come to WGI and try out this thing that has a weird stigma to it. They get one run, they get eliminated, and then statistically they don't come back. So this is the first year everybody was at least a semifinalist. And then in the A space, thank you to Ron and thank you to Wayne Dillon and all the admin for making that happen. But so if you were an A, you made it into semifinals, and then you got the top 5 going into finals in both independent and Scholastic. And so really, really cool. We'll jump into the independent scores now. Ethereal gets 92.363. That's good enough for first place again. That's their second one. They come around next year. They've got the three-peat. We'll talk about a big three-peat coming up here towards the end of this segment. Obsidian is new to the space, I believe. They got second place in Independent A with a 90.715. So cool to I also just on Ethereal really quick. They're from El Paso, hometown. I think they just broke a Independent A wins record this weekend. So that's pretty cool. Good.
Congrats to them.
Yeah, congrats Celeste and Caleb for all the work you do. They're directors of the ensemble, and they're also marching members of the ensemble. So it's really cool to see them.
And I think most of their staff is marching members of the ensemble too. Because one of my former students, shout out Sergio, on staff there with Ethereal, and they're doing some really, really, really good work out there, and they're really doing a lot for the El Paso community as a whole, which is just super, super awesome to see.
Yep, I think their guard, which is their first year out to Dayton, made semifinals, and the percussion made semis that they came out Sun City. And then let's go third place in Independent A, LSM West, 87.508. That's a feeder for LSM World. Crazy to see. There's an East, there's a West, there's a World. There'll probably be an Open at some point. LSM's kind of growing exponentially there in the state, and it's really cool to see. Cyclone wins gets Force with an 85.165, and then Forest Hills is an 84.115. And that's your top 5 Independent A wins finalists. So now I want to talk about my brother. Comes out with ICT wins, first time out. Really just from hey, how do you start a nonprofit to okay, I've got enough wins to do it. How do you get them to play music? And how do you it? So for everything from backing track to here's just get this arranger. Wes Pendergrass does a lot of great work with the wind space, and I believe he's still doing his thing. As if it's your first year to Dayton, he'll write your drill for free and do some coordination, which is, just amazing. But ICT comes out and gets 7th out of 9 in their first year, which is pretty great. I'm very proud of my brother Joel over at
Nice.
ICT. Yeah. Austin, do you want to do open?
Yeah, I will. I just want to ask about when did the ICT wins start? Like, when did that conversation first start rolling?
We probably started in September last year. I mean, like, it started kind of in the summer. He's like, I think I want to do this, and I was like, let's do this. The first thing you should probably do is that nonprofit paperwork. That takes a long time, and if you don't do it right, it's just hurdle after hurdle. And then it was kind of quiet for a little bit. He's a band director out there in North Carolina, so gets kind of bogged down with elementary school, middle school, high school, jazz
Sure.
band, concert, percussion stuff. And then December it really started rolling around. Oh, I have enough kids. What do I do? And so we were very lucky to get a lot of people in the community to offer their services for free or for at least very cheap. And then just like my independent group a few years ago, it was money out of his wallet. When Evo won in 23, I think I had about $3,000 or $4,000 of my own money in it, and I'll never see that back. It's never coming back. But I mean, the things on the wall, and we're happy about it. And, what's up, Woody?
I was gonna say, that kind of comes with the territory. United owes me a nice little amount, and I would love to have my xylophone and marimba back. And a vibraphone and a sound system. Hey, but it's part of the love. It is definitely part of the love. So when I didn't stand in the stands and watch Steve teach the United Percussion, it's very moving to see the whole thing from where it started, like you're saying, Jose, up to what United is today. It is very moving. It comes with the territory.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see a lot of these A-class groups really progress into these next spaces as the activity grows. See more A-classes add, a lot of these A-classes bump, and then just watch the activity grow. And hopefully one weekend or 1 year, Wins will have their own weekend. Hopefully, that's what we're shooting for. That's the goal, right?
Someday that's gotta be a thing.
It will.
It's coming.
It will
one day.
happen one day. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the most groups that we've ever had at WGI Wins, and
groups were turned away this year.
Yeah,
groups were said we don't have space for you.
So you're really getting close to needing your own weekend already.
Absolutely, I would say in the next probably 3 to 5 years tops. Yep. I'm hoping even sooner.
Nice.
That'd be ideal. But going into the Scholastic Open scores, we got Davies County finishing off with a 91.675, and then I think we have the wrong score for Robert Vila. It's the same score.
Yep, they both won.
They both won. All right,
they both got first.
Cool. I wasn't there for I wasn't there for retreat. I had to bail.
But they both won.
Yeah, shout out Davies County and Robert Vila High School, 91.675 each. And then third place, Bob Jones High School with an 89.6. Miamisburg High School from right down the street in Dayton, 89.488. Valley Christian High School, 88.113. Hernando High School with an 86.575. North Forney with an 86.1. Corinth Holders with a 79.525, and Lake Orion with a 78.95. So 9 total finalists in Scholastic Open Wins.
Nice.
Lots
yeah, and
of-
it's interesting
lots
to
of
see, like, a lot of these schools also are big either percussion or guard schools too. So it's like schools propping up multiple programs and just kind of being good at everything they do.
They're working. They're working hard. They're doing great things. A lot of these people are really teaching their butts off and really creating good, really, really good groups coming out for this.
Trying to follow the Avon model.
Absolutely. Yep. And it's proven to work. It's proven to work.
I think Steve and Austin, we really need to as promoters for all of this stuff, we really need to try to tap that market and get some people out here on our podcast. And just learn more about it as an activity. Let's get it going as quick as possible, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it actually is really cool. A lot of the listeners probably didn't catch whatever episodes we've done in the past about wins. But the wins discussions are fun. Wins is actually a really open medium where there's a lot less rules than there are in percussion. And it's kind of still growing and discovering itself, but the rule restrictions are a lot less strict. So if you're listening and you don't know about it, you should have an open mind. It's actually growing and being pretty cool.
That's how the wins idiom is by design. At the end of the day, a lot of the advisory boards have been like, we want to keep this a wide open discussion. We want to keep this a wide open playing field. We want to be able to, so we can grow the activity as much as we can. The only rules are really the OSHA, the safety stuff, the boundaries, timing. That's pretty much
basically it. Yeah.
It's
basically
a dream, is what it is.
It's an open canvas.
It is the Wild West of WGI at the end of the day.
I'm really excited to see where all this progresses to and how all these groups will end up pushing the sport forward in the wins sector.
Oh,
yeah.
For sure.
Next couple of years, especially.
Oh, yeah.
Especially just with more and more groups. But
yeah.
What do we got? Independent Open now for the wins?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we got.
I'll read these ones off.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so we've got Valhalla wins, winning with a 91.6. River City Rhythm with a 91.225 takes second place. Elevate wins with an 88.5 takes third. And then Minnesota Brass Indoor wins with an 82.95 takes fourth. Convergence Indoor wins with an 81.575 takes fifth. And then Evidence wins from William Carey University with sixth place with an 80.875.
Here's a real fun fact. A guy I did some work with over the internet from Colombia, he came over and he did independent the Minnesota team. I thought that was very cool. And he's planning on doing Reading this summer.
Really?
Yeah. Colombia, and he's going to take all that information back across the equator.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Well,
yeah, no, that's awesome.
When we get to Independent World, I got something to tell you a little bit later, Woody. But I just want to shout out River City Rhythm really quick. This was their first year out in wins. They started in A class this year. Got bumped to open about a month before WGI. Showed up and ended up getting a silver medal in open class.
Dang.
Which is
WGI is good about that. When they do the bumping, you don't just get bumped and get tanked afterwards. They do a very good job with that. Not a lot of circuits are good at that, and I got to give the thumbs up to WGI with that.
Yeah, they were super, super awesome. Really, really great educators over there at River City, doing a lot of great work. A lot of those kids are in the drum corps too, so they'll be marching this summer. So definitely something to keep an eye on this summer too. So just a little drum corps preview.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like a group actually getting and making their wins group and then having wins players playing through the winter and then coming into the summer. It's like, I don't think there's actually a lot of groups that have that full pipeline operative.
It makes sense. I mean, at the end of the day, it does make sense. As long as it makes sense financially, it makes sense for the training.
Mm-hmm. But all right, you guys want to tell us about the World Ensemble? Sounds like you had a little story cooked up, Austin.
Joey, you want to jump on Scholastic World?
Sure. Let's start from the bottom and we'll go to the top, starting with Lake Hamilton out of Arkansas, fourth place with an 88 flat. Greenfield Central High School with a 90.350. Westfield High School in second place from Indiana with a 91.950. And of course, your reigning Scholastic World Class wins champion, Avon High School, with a 97.450. Quick little tidbit about that. Matt Harloff makes it to retreat to medalist kids after getting off a flight from Coachella.
Mm-hmm.
He had just performed with Crown Brass with Travis Scott the night before, and there was kind of like whispers. They're like, "Where's Matt? Where's Matt? Where's Matt?" oh, Matt's over here. Oh, Matt's doing that. And then Matt put out a little blurb. It was like, there's a show worth watching on Saturday on YouTube Live. Might be from Coachella. Who knows? I thought that was pretty insane.
Not only that, but he got to see Bernie Sanders this weekend too. So he did medals and Bernie Sanders.
Dang.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's crazy. The whole the whole Carolina Crown and 2 colleges playing at Coachella with Travis Scott just wasn't on my bingo card. But I think that is an absolutely wild crossover event.
To go from a Hall of Fame earlier in the week to Travis Scott to World Championships. I mean, his family must be having, like there must be so much cake in the house and so much, confetti everywhere. Like I don't know how they're cleaning it all up.
He's kind of been on a generational run the past past couple months. Avon winning keep in mind Avon won Grand Nationals too.
Yeah, he's on side quest now. He's like Snoop Dogg.
I know, now he's doing Coachella, just Hall of Fame, and then winning this and just craziness. I mean,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, we will have him on the show soon. As our producer Jeremy just let us know, we're going to do a Matt Harloff interview. So keep coming back, keep watching the show. Because I'm going to want to ask him all sorts of questions about Travis Scott. Like, what is his favorite McDonald's food? What's his favorite Fortnite character? Toothpaste.
The strawberry follow. What do you mean? It's everyone's favorite at McDonald's. Come on, man. The strawberry
all right. But let's get into these independent world wins.
Yeah, I'll start from the bottom up. We'll do the same thing. We got LSM with they started off with an 87.7. They have the 2, like we mentioned earlier, they do have the 2 feeder groups, LSM East and West, and they do have a world-class group as well. Lots of growth, lots and lots of growth from that group specifically. I saw a lot of really, really great things out of what they were doing. And then you got Legacy from South Florida here with an 89.475. They've had tremendous amounts of growth as well. Super, super happy to see what they're doing. They've added so many members in the past couple of years. I think they started their first year with about probably 8, 10, maybe. They had like at least 35, 40 on the floor this time around. Really, really great stuff. And then Horizon wins, breaking 90 with a 90.85. And then Vaquero wins from down in the valley of South Texas with a 94.2. And then the perennial three-peat from Strike wins gold medal with a 97.275. Also shout out Team Florida. 3 of the 5 groups in independent world class are Team Florida. So shout out to Florida.
Nice. Well, that was a lot of scores. It was a crazy week for WGI Percussion and for wins as well. So if your mind's twirling right now, you should probably just make sure you're there next year and you'd see it all yourself, and then you wouldn't even need to catch the recap because you would saw it all yourself. But we're going to be back in a couple minutes here. We got a quick commercial, and then we are in for the last bit of our rehearsal.
Hi all, it's Beth from Peak Group Travel with your travel tip of the week. Be sure to plan your trip well enough in advance of your travel dates, 6 to 12 months ahead at least. Hotels, flights, buses, and attractions can fill up fast.
Party.
And you want to
That's
make sure
fun.
you can maximize the time you need to fundraise for your trip as well. If you want more tips, be sure to follow Peak Group Travel on Facebook and Instagram. And if you're ready to chat about your next trip, send us an email at info@peakgrouptravel.com. This is Beth with Peak Group Travel and your travel tip of the week. Ready to elevate your travel game? Welcome to Peak Group Travel, the ultimate adventure creators. Whether you're planning an unforgettable class trip, a once-in-a-lifetime parade experience for your marching band, or a choir tour full of memorable performance venues, Peak Group Travel handles it all, so you can focus on making memories. From breathtaking international destinations to amazing adventures right here at home, Peak Group Travel customizes every journey to your vision.
Does anybody
We're
sound
not
like,
just planners, we're
obviously,
your partners
the
for
first
the
one's
trip
pretty
you want
silly,
for
the
your
second
students.
one's probably what
Our
people are
online
interested in, and
registration
then the
portal
third one,
makes managing
I have
your
no
future
idea about,
experience
and if
smooth
you
and
ask me to
convenient.
talk about
We even
financials for
collect your
60
payments if
seconds,
you'd like.
it's gonna be bad.
Picture it. Effortless
People
planning,
are gonna lose money
unmatched
and maybe their
experiences,
jobs
and
not.
smiles that last long after the journey
Does
ends.
anybody have
That's the
any
Peak Group
advice? So
travel
like
difference.
mine right
You can
now
choose
is
to partner with
consistency
Peak
is
on your
key.
next
So
tour.
like don't
If
change
you mention
anything
that you
up
heard about
the
us
week
on the
of.
On a Water Break podcast,
Keep the processes the
you'll
same.
earn a $100
Same
trip
vibes
credit.
as the rest of the season.
Discover why
Confidence is
groups everywhere
crucial.
trust Peak
You know,
Group
be your
Travel.
biggest,
Follow us on
be your
Facebook,
student's
Instagram,
biggest
and LinkedIn,
cheerleader,
and be sure to
you
visit
know, when they see you standing up at the
peakgrouptravel.com
front, like
You pick
by
the
the
date,
TMP
and
judge,
we'll make it
that'll
great.
give them a sense of calm, and then commit to communication. Communicate with your members, staff, and parents throughout the week, and just make sure that everybody's on the same page.
We weren't even recording that. That was perfect.
Ooh, we were almost ready, you all. Everybody that's watching now on the live stream on YouTube, I just want you to know that everybody was almost ready to be able to literally jump out of that commercial break and right back into talking. So I'm literally just going to start the recording and everybody's ready, right? Right?
Yeah.
We're good?
Yeah.
Joey's ready for their 60-second tech block?
I guess so.
Yeah, well, good luck if you're not.
Same exact thing you said last time. You're great.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Do you got intro music for this, Jeremy?
Yeah. We'll come in from
Tech
commercial.
Block was about.
Yeah. We'll come in for a commercial break. Okay, y'all. Here we go. Mute.
All right, everyone. It is time for the 60-second tech block. This is the segment where one of our hosts or guest clinicians is put on the spot to deliver a nonstop 60-second tech session on a topic that needs some serious attention after the last run. So our special tech this week has come prepared with 3 topics that he thinks he could talk about for a full 60 seconds straight. 3 whole topics, 60 seconds, any of them. No hesitation, no pauses, just pure technical gold. So this week, we're going to throw it over to Joey, who's got 3 topics that he's very knowledgeable about.
So knowledgeable. Oh my gosh. Y'all aren't ready. Here's my 3 topics, all right? And we'll kind of just, everybody gets to kind of choose up in this space, okay? Number 1 is what to pack for a week in Dayton. Number 2 is how to get the most out of your students Champ Week. And then number 3 is how to diversify your financial portfolio to allow for the most positive gains this fiscal year. Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna pick and choose as a panel here, and then I guess we're off to the races. Jeremy feels I'm an expert in all 3. I think I'm only an expert on the packing, but here we go. What do you guys think?
I want
Which
the financial one, but
Yeah, me too, dude.
Well, I don't think he wants to give up the secrets, honestly. It's not in his financial best interest. But
yeah.
Am I right?
So what do we think? What do we think, guys? 1, 2, or 3?
I
like 2.
think number 2 is
I like
probably
number 2.
the best
I'm
one.
going 2.
Okay, we're getting all right. Cool. So how do we do this? How do we go? Oh, I just start?
I'm
Okay,
going to give you a 3, 2, 1 go, and we're just going to go for it, all right?
Okay, here we go.
60-second tech block.
That's how.
Oh, Ricardo.
Ready, go.
Okay, how to get the most out of your students in Champ Week. So I'll give you the 3 C's. The first one is consistency is key. Remember, whatever you do in December is what's going to set you up for the Thursday of Dayton week. Okay, so everything's a process. Everything leads you in. Same vibes from the season to the week of. Don't switch up stuff. Consistency is key. The second one is confidence is crucial. Be your student's biggest cheerleader. At the end of the day, when the curtain pulls and they see you standing there by the TMP judge in front of the entire stadium, there's going to be a sense of calmness and comfortability. So just make sure you're there for them and that you're always cheering them on. You've got to make them confident. That's what puts you in finals. And then commit to communication. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening the week of. Make sure they're communicating with the members efficiently, the staff, and the parents. If you don't have the parents in the right place, your props aren't going to be on the floor. That is what I've got. 60-second tech block. Mic drop.
Oh, right to the end. That was smooth.
2.5 seconds to spare.
Love
It's got to be the best 60-second tech block execution rep we've had yet. But yeah, that's actually huge, man, because it's so hard that, like, it's not a consistent week. Everything else throughout the season has actually been different completely. You've been at your high school, you've been at local shows, you've been where you're comfortable. And then for most ensembles, you don't get to play in a room like that until Dayton. So you get there and everything sounds different too. So keeping that consistency is actually a real challenge. But do you got any advice for how to make it feel the same?
So like the thing is the vibe. So for me, things I see other people do is they'll dress differently and they'll kind of walk differently when they're in the lot. And I like it's all the same. So we're like it'll always be chill. They'll always dab up my center snare, and I'll be like, "Hey, dude, how's it going? We're ready to do this." And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, cool." One big thing that I do with a lot of my groups is they'll have like a hype piece. And so it'll be like the Tandu exercise into dance choreography they have in the show. They do it at the top of every rehearsal. So at the top of the lot, I press play, and it's the same thing they've had, whether it was the dance room, the gym, the lobby, the hotel lobby, or the lot. You know, it's really important that there's consistency in how they start the process, and then the energy. Like I can't be looking. You know, it's got to be the same intensity. Like it could crescendo a little bit, you know, as we get to the end, but it can't be. Oh, that was cool yesterday, but today that's just unacceptable. Like they can't do that on the Thursday that they're going to be in the lot in front of people. You know, you want them to be comfortable, and comfortability exudes confidence. So the more that you can make them comfortable with the most consistent you can be, the better. One thing that Jara said on a podcast we did a while ago with the guard was if she feels like she's amped up, she'll just let another staff member run warm up and she'll step away if she's going to be the one that's adding the stress. I think being that aware is really important too. You being the adult in the room, knowing like, hey, I'm kind of jazzed up right now. I should probably just go plug in some XLR cables, you know. Like I'll take a break. I'll go make sure the mixer's on, and you know, maybe I'll double check the subway order that comes right after our prelims run. But like, I don't need to be right here right now. I think that self-awareness is really important.
Yeah, I'm gonna tune the bass drums. Don't talk to me right now. All right, well, that was a solid 60-second tech block. Thank you, Joey. Hopefully someone out there just got the tech advice that they did not even know that they needed. But now it's time to switch things up. It's time for everyone's favorite. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
It's such a fat groove, isn't it?
It lays in deep.
Yeah, shout out Josh Leda music.
The 3-shot lead in is perfect.
Cat. All right. Well, this is the part of the show where we let loose a little bit, or it could be a lot, depends. It's your chance to rant about something in the marching arts that just does not make sense to you. Could be a tradition that needs to go, or a habit that performers just can't seem to break. At the end of the day, it's something that makes you say, why are we doing this? Or why haven't we started doing this yet? Whatever it is, it's your moment to call it out. So who's got something that they need to get off their chest? Woody, I feel like you probably have something to get off your chest.
You know, about the only thing I'm gonna say is, you know, when you sit in the stands and you watch how much money goes in and out of that gym, why are we forcing it to all go together inside of like 3 minutes so you can break something? And especially with our younger, you know, you watch our A-class kids come on and oh God, snap, and then it doesn't work, and you see that look on the kid's face, you know, like, is another minute going to really kill us? Is it really? I mean, that's just me. Now,
I wish it wouldn't kill us, but I'm hearing that in the Winds world, they can't even take all the groups. There's not enough time.
I don't know.
But I hear you.
You know,
too hectic.
What are we doing? Yes, it is too hectic. Oh well.
No, I definitely hear you. It's funny. George Mason was almost making a little fun of that with their get off the floor and they're throwing babies and everything.
Yeah,
It's
get off the floor. You know,
it was a funny.
Even another 30 seconds will probably change the color of everything.
Yeah, and I mean, you watch some of those groups. What is it? 2 groups had sound issues at the start of their show, finals night for percussion. on Saturday. I don't remember who two they were, but I mean, I was sitting there stressing out, and I mean, the instructors again about exuding confidence are just like, "Boop. Yeah, so just check that. Yeah, just check that." And I'm like, it's been 2.5 minutes. You should start. And then seeing them run off the floor, like, what's in those moments, that's where like that catastrophic electronic rule should really apply. And it's like you should maybe just walk before you tear apart thousands of dollars worth of electronic equipment. Like,
Definitely
we understand
agree.
something happened. Just have a good day. The next group's on anyway. And also,
And-
RCC's already started, so who cares? Like, they're in the.
They're already
mode.
drumming back there. Those guys. Yeah, that's funny. I guess when you really think about it, like the front ensemble is kind of where the activity is pushing forward, I feel like, in percussion, because the battery is battery. Like there's ways that you can push it, but the front ensemble is becoming more and more like an actual concert in how it's equipped and the actual like sound logistics that are happening every year. So the more that becomes the front line that everyone needs to stick to, the more I feel like, Woody, you're actually like pretty right that we should probably have something we could do to accommodate all of that complicated electronics that needs to be set up in 2 minutes. But I don't know. That's also the challenge.
That's the challenge. You're right. That's the preparation and that's the consistency that Joe was talking about. But for some reason,
And it is a skill.
Groups get it. It is a skill.
Mm-hmm. It's practiced and it's a skill. So, but let's keep this one moving. Joey, what do you got for what are we doing?
Mine is just what are we doing not cheering? I see I know it's a long week. I know it's whatever. On Saturday, I just saw there were groups that just were not happy about their placement. I feel, I don't really know what the answer was. Maybe it was just a long week. But, I mean, there are big things happening on the floor, and they're just, or you're in the finals retreat, and you're not happy with whatever came up on the weekend. Like, you can have your moment, and that's fine. I just feel like maybe I'm just a little bit what's the word? I'm a little bit blessed or naive or what have you because of my time with the Winds, where you get beat by a group that it's their first year and you've been around for 5, and like they're still cheering. Like I'm from that space, but like, what are we doing not cheering for our competitors and hyping up? I mean, everybody had crazy cool stuff this year, and we all know what the struggles were. We all know. On the East Coast, we lost like 3 weeks of rehearsals this year because of snow and unplanned weather stuff. Like, what are we doing not cheering through those hurdles, That's my what are we doing?
Yeah, no, I feel you. I actually think that I offer, or I have a bit of a different perspective on that one from being in a group that really it's just becoming the Rhythm X experience is coming in second by a 10th. When I was there in 22, it was in second by a 10th. This year it was in second by a 10th. I think in 2018, it was in second by a 10th or something close to that. It's tough because I see a lot of people online mention about like, oh, you got a medal, but you look disappointed. And it's like, well, they didn't achieve their goal. The goal was to win. And, they are all happy with the product they put together. They're happy this week coming home still with the experience they had. But in that moment, you learn that you didn't achieve the goal. So I think I see both sides of the story.
I definitely agree with you, Steve, with that kind of a thing. It's just a moment because when you get older and you look back, you know what? When you move from one house to another house 10 years later and you open up that box, and there's that silver medal. You won't remember the disappointing part. You'll remember all the memories getting to that silver medal. That's very important. That's very
definitely.
important.
Yeah. I respect that.
Right. Austin, what are we doing this week?
Oh boy. Oh, this is one that really bothered me, and Woody can attest to this. What are we doing setting crooked floors at finals? That one, oh my, it was everywhere. Promise you.
Tough.
No, I'm not even kidding. And it wasn't the fact that they weren't centered, because I'm sure they were, but I'm on the side. I have a very specific view. the line of there are literal lines on there are literal black tape lines on the base floor, right? What are we doing not lining the front and back of our floor parallel with those lines?
That's that extra minute. That's that. There you go.
You're not wrong. That's Woody's extra minute.
And this is the part that's going to get me in trouble, because it came from a lot of the groups that were in the bottom half of pretty much almost every single class in the percussion side. I didn't see it as much in winds, but in the percussion class, there was a lot of people who didn't set their floors properly. And honestly, this is my hot take, and I'm going to say it's going to get me in trouble. I'm not going to say that's why you're not placing higher, but at the same time, it's a small detail at the end of the day. How many more details are you missing when you're cleaning the show?
You know what,
No.
man? You'd be surprised how many people, like at the top echelon, that's part of what has to be done. But when you're down there at the bottom, there's so many other things that jump in front of that.
But keep in mind, it was at finals. I didn't watch a lot of prelims. I watched mostly finals.
I know, but you know, coming from a program that is just starting, the staff that was already there, preparing to come on the floor was not something they had ever done before. And the guys that came with me were all shocked. Like, you mean you never worked on the floor? No, because the color guard usually just helps them throw on the floor. I'm like, that's even worse.
Yep.
But I mean, you look at that. I mean, we talk about the differences between the top and the bottom. There's 12 points between the bottom of world class and the top. You know, like something's different in that space and that training. And like we've talked about already, like there are a couple of first time newbies in world class finals this year. Like there are those things, and I think it's cool to, like, once you start getting up to the top. Like one of the things I saw was how consistent the setup process got as we moved up in the ranks. Like I was like, oh shit, that front ensemble knows exactly what they're doing. That battery knows exactly how they have to put their drum down to do the choreo, sit roll, put it on, jump, do a backflip, and now it's time for the snare feature. Like that consistency shows up in more ways than one. And I think it's cool. Those little details. That's why I like watching groups from the side. Is that if the drill's clean from the side, you know it's squeaky clean from the front.
That is my thing. You know, I say
Me
that
too.
all the time. If it's clean from the side, it's clean.
Well, I think you guys are definitely right. Those little details matter a ton, and just make you look professional at the end of the day. But Matt, what do you got for us?
I got what are we doing saying I don't get that show? Like, it's an artistic medium, and like you don't have to get it. It's about like creating feelings inside of the viewer, right? And like I don't know, I hear it a lot, especially in Dayton. Like, oh yeah, I liked this group, but I didn't really get their show, but it was really cool. Well, then it was cool. What's not to get? Like not everything is horses. Like some shows are about horses. Some shows are not. But like, did you enjoy watching it? Like, did those performers like affect you? Did the music make you feel something? I just think like it's not 2004 anymore. We're not doing like story shows where like the couple goes off like holding hands at the end. So like let's like lean into like the artistry of it and just appreciate like good music, art, visual performance, whatever you want to call it. Like any other medium that's not like drums in a gym, you don't leave the ballet like, what was that about? What was that dance, that modern dance they did? I don't know what that meant. Like, it doesn't mean anything. It's just like cool art that you enjoyed watching.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's like when you go to a museum, you would want the painting to provoke like questions in your mind, and it might even be a great painting or art piece or poem, if it doesn't answer the questions that it makes you start asking, and it just leads you to draw your own conclusions. I feel like that's like where really good artistry is kind of hard to make in this idiom, but like groups are doing it. And it is on the audience then to be mature enough to know that they didn't need to know exactly what the designer meant this moment to mean. It can be more for you to just draw your own conclusions on.
I think general effect in its most purest form is audience engagement. And if the audience is engaged, then it's generally effective. And I think the more we start buying into that world, the more some of these old school feelings and vibes will go away too. But it is definitely ingrained in the activity, and I can't wait for it to be out, because I hate that too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It fades
All right.
in, it'll phase out. Don't worry.
Pendulum swing.
Daniel, I remember earlier you were talking about what are we doing, and you had one already cooked up, ready to go. What do you got for us?
Cooked up. All right. What are we doing? And this kind of goes in twofolds, but WGI Dayton World Championships is coined as the celebration of excellence, right? And if we're not achieving excellence, I don't know if that's what we should be doing, right? If we can't achieve excellence at a certain level, we shouldn't be doing it in Dayton, okay? And that goes in two terms, in terms of that, but also in terms of what Joey talked about earlier with the celebration of each other. And what are we doing not clapping for each other? What are we doing not clapping for the other groups when maybe the snare feature was just a touch dirty, but it doesn't nearly get as much applause as anything else, right? It's still a celebration of excellence. We're still celebrating each other. It still has to feel uplifting. It still has to feel happy. It's a celebration of each other. And I really would like in the future if it really felt a little bit more like that, especially in finals.
Daniel, funny you mention that, because it's something I notice a lot. Because if you go to a color guard show, whether they catch it or not, they cheer for each other.
They're going nuts.
You got it.
Our room is just dark. It's either right or it's wrong.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And you listen to a tenor feature, and the
not new.
one Spockle was dirty, and it just gets no applause because of the final ending, the final 2 counts of that Spock roll. Right? It's sad. It's sad to see it.
It's nothing new. It has always been like that, and it's amazing to me because I went to the guard regional with my group this year, and the group was bad, but they throw the thing up in the air, hits the ground, yay! Like you said, you dropped into the Spock roll. You know what? They should lose.
Yep.
That's how we are.
Last place.
100%. And it's sad. It really is. And especially you think about those members on the floor when they hear that applause come in, and maybe it's not as much as the next one that they hear, because they recognize that maybe that rep wasn't nearly as good as the previous rep, and they know what it sounds like clean. It's got to suck. It's got to hurt.
Yeah,
I've been behind a dirty rep in my day. It hurts.
It does hurt.
But all right, I've got a what are we doing that might get me or us in a little bit of trouble, but I have beef with this occurrence. What are we doing not including George Mason in the catwalk recap video from PIW finals? Yeah, WGI included all 14 groups except the fan favorite. That was a spicy show that called out aspects of the activity. So,
Steve, you're gonna get in trouble.
Oh man, you're done.
The WGI Illuminati is gonna get you.
I didn't make the decision to not include it. I wasn't even the first person to point it out. But I just think, you could have taken that a way different way. You don't have to be so negative about the show. The show can just help people get better. Don't want to dwell on it too long, but I thought that this segment would be remiss if I didn't include that.
Great job, everyone.
Yeah,
Set your equipment down. Gush and go.
Gush and go. Whatever it is, this is your moment to call it out. Oh no, that's from what are we doing? Gush and Go, just your chance to go on about anything that's important to you. A quick little spot about something. Doesn't have to be marching arts related, or it can be if you want it to be. But Woody, what do you want to gush and go on about this week?
Well, what I'll gush about is through this year, I've picked up a new band director job, and it was some tough going. My kids are now watching the podcast now that they know that I'm on it. I never really told them. I accidentally found out. They didn't even know my name was Woody. I'm Mr. Woodward. But that's
Mr. Woodward. That's what I'll call you now. Hey, Mr. Woodward.
They weren't quite buying into the system because Mr. Woodward is so mean. Nothing's ever right. They won their first show last weekend, and I wasn't there, but they were so energized.
Nice.
I'm very happy for them.
It's awesome.
Watching because I am very proud of them because they endured a lot. Because Mr. Woodward is mean. They dropped that spot roll. They dropped that spot roll. No, it sucked. Take it back.
Everybody else will clap for you, but Mr. Woodward will tell you how it is.
Say that. No, they say that. Oh, Woody's never happy. It's got to be right. Sorry.
Nah, they need it. You're their teacher. You're the guy that's got to hold them accountable.
As long as it's consistent.
Joey, what do you want to gush and go on about?
Oh man, I'm just happy that the winter season's done. I took on way too many groups again. I'm gonna get better at it one day. The balance, but
Are you?
right now, no, probably not. It's so hard to say no. Most of the I shouldn't have done that happens in like January, where it's like, oh, I don't have a drill writer. Can you please get me a movement in a week because we can't get a hold of our drill writer. We can't get a hold of a choreographer, and it's like. I could do today, I could write it today, so I'll get better at it one day, or I'll just find a way to deal with the bandwidth. I am getting a lot better on the communication side and the efficiency side of this. But yeah, I'm happy that we ended strongly and groups did well. I'm going to take about a week. I do this every time I wanted to do this, and then I'll disappear for a week. No one will know how to text me, email. You can't reach me. I'm gone. I'm off the face of the earth for about a week, and then it's time to start writing fall shows. Speaking of doing too much, I've got 2 more slots open on my design schedule. I can write your drill choreography. I can design your props, your uniforms, the whole shindig. Any part of your visual package, I'll come out and teach if you need to. Yeah, that's what I've got. I'm trying to fill up the rest of my early summer and then 2 clients for the fall. Holla at me.
All right, get in there. Yeah, a great resource, Joey. And it's so funny how in the same Gush and Go, you'll be like, I need to stop taking on so many groups. But then 30 seconds later, you're like, I got space for some more groups.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's the grind, bro. I can't not.
It is the grind. All right. Austin, what do you want to gush and go on about?
I want to gush and go about the I think I gushed about this last year, but I'm going to do it again. I'm going to gush and go about the camaraderie of the wins side of things and just how supportive of the community it's really, really, really awesome really awesome that how everybody is friends with everyone, and no one has bad blood with anyone. It's just like, oh, this is who, like, obviously people are going to have their differences and they're going to whatever, but no one truly has any like super bad blood with anyone. It's just a fantastic space where everyone can and there's a whole Facebook page about it, like the wins instructor. There's a whole Facebook page, WGI wins instructors and designers. Everyone's in there always sharing information. Going back, shout out to LSM. They helped out ICT at prelims. I think, was it prelims, right? Because their sound system was busted. Joey,
It was semis. So talking about not planning on and offs, this prelims was this group's second show of the season because of snow and travel. So their first one was a WGI regional. So craziness on there. Again, first time, first everything. They run off the floor. They start folding the floor the wrong way. Like they start doing a horizontal timeline. I'm like, no, it's vertical. Get. You gotta go. We did not plan this. And I was like, if there's anything you practice, it's the on and off. Through the craziness, a speak-on cable was ripped and torn, and if I was there, I could have sat there and like soldered it and done the thing. I don't know that my brother knows how to do that, and so I mean the whole system was down. There was just no way they were going to get left-right, and there were some left-right effects in the show. So we put out a little APB, a little emergency, come help the crew, and Ellison came through. Zach Novicki came through, right? Zach Novicki, yep. Stephen and Leah came through and really helped us out. And again, just a testament to how brotherly love the win space is. We're very fortunate to get that help.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I just love this. I just love the activity in that regard, just because of how fun it is and how the wins people are just so good to each other, regardless of competitiveness or whatnot. It's just a good environment to be in.
Because you don't have a clock roll.
Yeah, that's
you don't have stock rolls. That's you're right.
Not yet.
Just
once
wait.
you start doing stock rolls and wins, y'all are gonna start getting awfully mean to each other.
Probably so.
All right, Matt, what do you want to gush and go on about?
I'm gonna say like the state of bass drumming. I walked around a lot. I don't watch snares. I don't watch pits. I'm like a bass drum caveman, right?
Yeah.
But I watched a lot of bass lines, and every one of them was good, man. Like, the bottom of finals, I walked around on, prelims day, got to see some groups that I normally wouldn't get to see, just because everyone's all mixed up. Getting to see like Connexus and stuff like that. Like, man, the bar is so high already, and just the lots are super cool. Like getting to see like Monarch's lot. I don't know if you've seen those videos where Monarch's lot just like explodes.
Yeah.
That stuff's so fun to me. Like I don't think when I started it was like that. I love the lot hype. I love that groups let people right up in there. Broken City lot was crowded and they weren't crazy. I think the Broken City lot's like pretty calm, but you walk past that X lot and it's going crazy. Monarch's got people like jumping over each other to jam with the drum line. So just like the vibes, even though like drumline is mostly haters, just like as a breed, we still show up for each other and cheer and have a good time. I think inside is quiet, but out in the lot, you would never know that people are sitting on their hands for a dirty spot roll. Like I watched a stacked hand to hand get like an extreme applause out there just because it's there. Like I think people are out in the parking lot absolutely giving it up, whether it's good or bad, and I think that's awesome. I love the community. I love the bass stuff. Getting to like meet you in person. I met a couple people this year that I've just like been talking to online. So just Dayton overall and the people, the friends, the family was super, super cool.
Yeah, I feel like there's a bit of a growing bass drum culture. There already was a bass drum culture, but I feel like it's continuing to grow now that like more of the techs, I feel like we're doing some of this crazy hard stuff and now we're teaching it. So it's we're in a better position for today's bass lines to execute the hard stuff from 5 years ago. Because 5 years ago, our techs didn't actually tend to know. Like any way you go back, the further and back you go, there's just more information now. It's really becoming something special.
I feel like the bass drum thing is the equivalent to the tenors in the 90s. Once they started, doing all the sweeps and stuff, like the tenor drumming thing was the most progressive, but the bass drums were always still in the back. Now the bass drums have stepped forward and they are now the progressive thing, most definitely.
Yeah, just talking about the lot, like big shout out to groups like Marching Vlogs and people like that capture that magic. And knowing that they come out on their own dime to make that happen is pretty incredible. And
awesome. Daniel, what do you want to gush and go on about this week?
Yeah, so I mean, the season just ended. I mean, not for us. We still have a championship this weekend, which is kind of funny. Not looking forward to it. Actually, totally am. Oh, it's like after finals. It's so weird, but it'll be fun. It'll be a fun weekend to get the show back together. But over the course of like the last 6 months, 8 months, I think the thing I've been relishing in the most right now is just the amount of progress that I've seen in members and the amount of growth that I've got to experience and got to be a part of has just been incredible this year. It really has. Our group really made strides. I mean, our auditions, they weren't rough, but they still were kind of on the lower end of what we've seen in the past. And I really think we ended somewhere better than North Star really ever has. The growth, member to member, that everybody grew, not just as a player, but like as people in relationships with each other, and just the total maturity about everything as a person from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. It was just incredible. I'm so proud of them. They did a great job in Dayton. I look forward to seeing them all come back next year and get to see all this progress again. Like, it just makes me excited. You know what I mean? They're great members.
Yeah, it's nice. I really love being able to be a part of like independent students progression, because they're a little bit older. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what the demographic base at North Star is, but it's nice. High school is great, but I also love impacting like a young adult in their path, and it's like Drumline just becomes the venue through which they grow and mature, and it's all cool. And for me to gush and go real quick, I'm just happy with UP Bass. They played real good. That was our goal. That's all we can control, is essentially our sub slot and sounding good there. So I was real happy with the whole ensemble, but real happy with my students specifically. And for On a Water Break, we're going to have a performer episode coming out sometime soon where we meet up with a bunch of different performers that we actually spoke with earlier in the season, and get their feedback or just hear what their experiences were like from those same performers now that they got through finals. So we're going to get on that soon, and I would think you're going to love the episode. You should check it out. But
Hey, it's called Gush and Go, not Gush and Stay. Let's go.
I feel like I always forget that there's an outro music to that one, and I always just roll right into the into the outro. But thank you all for a great rehearsal this week. It's crazy doing this live. Thank you all if you're listening live. That's so cool. Really appreciate it. It's awesome that we've got listeners. Thank you to Woody. Thank you to Joey. Thank you to Austin. Matt, where could our listeners find you or the different things you're involved with online?
You can find me at SoCal Base Camp on Instagram. Hopefully, I don't have anything in concrete yet, but hopefully doing another second year of Base Camp in Southern California, kind of like the in-between weeks between DCI ending and indoor auditions. So if you want to keep your eyes there, and then my personal is at Surfing Drums. If you want to follow me personally.
Nice. Definitely should check out Matt's stuff. You do a lot of cool stuff for the community of bass drummers in SoCal. So awesome having you on the show. And Daniel, where could our listeners find you online?
So communications, I'm probably on Instagram by balls_boy, as well as email through Daniel at nsiindependent.org. I know, okay.
Honestly, it's just impressive that you got that one, man. You must have been an OG user.
You know what I mean?
It's an old account.
I think it's the first username I ever had, and so it's just I stuck with it.
You gotta roll with it, man.
I know, it's great. You gotta own up to it. You know what I mean?
It is yours.
It's a brand at this point. It's a brand.
It is.
Awesome. Well, check Daniel out. Give Daniel a follow as well. If you've got a question or a good topic to talk about, email us at onawaterbreakpodcast@gmail.com, or you could find us on social media and DM us if you want to be on the show. We've got a form that you can fill out now if you want to be a guest. We love having people on the podcast, so check it out in the link on our bio on social media, Or you could just take out your phone. You can make a video. You can send it to us. You might see yourself on the podcast soon. And one more thing, if you're listening live, you must not possibly be forgetting that we have a YouTube channel now. But if you're listening to this after the fact, we've got a YouTube channel. Go check it out. Subscribe. You can see us all there. We release a lot of video content now, and we do some live streams. So it's a good place to be. Before you close out of your listening app, subscribe there, please. Write us a review. Share it with a friend. Follow us on social media at On a Water Break, and we will see you at the next rehearsal on a water break.
The On a Water Break podcast was produced by Jeremy Williams and Christine Ream. The intro and outro music was produced by Josh Lida. To learn more, visit lidamusic.com. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.
All right. I don't know what's
got enough
going on
time.
right there.
You're mumble mouth right now, dog.
I got nothing. That's good.